Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. Hope everybody is doing well. Just getting my stuff situated here for the Team of the Week 22 predictions. It's kind of looking like a lackluster Team of the Week this week. I may be holding out for some more weekend. I actually haven't played weekend league at all this season, so gonna hold out for probably for a little. So anyway, we'll hop into it. As you can see, I have my starting 11 up on the screen. So we'll start with Andre Pierre Gignac. He had 2 goals in Liga MX over the weekend in a shutout win. Uh, he had a 9.3 rating, 2 goals. So I feel like that's pretty sure bet that he'll get in. I believe he plays for Tigres. I think they won 3-0. So he should pretty much be a shoe in there. Next is Kevin Volland for Bayer Leverkusen. He had 2 goals in the 4-3 win over Borussia Dortmund. That was a wild game. Apparently, there were 3 goals that were not allowed in that game, and Dortmund had a 3-2 lead at one point, and then um, Leverkusen came back and scored 2 goals within like 8 minutes or something like that, and won 4. So that was a pretty big game. So I think Volland's going to get the inform out of that match. Um, Moving on, and I've not seen Dimitri Payet in any predictions this week. I have him in for kind of for 2 reasons. One, they won both their Olympique de Marseille won both their games this week, so Ligue 1 had a double game week this week. And he scored out of the three. They scored 3 goals. Out of those 3 goals, he scored 2 of them. They won 2-0 and 1-0, and he had the only goal in the 1-0 win. So I put him in kind of to juice up the team a little bit, outside of a couple others you see there. But I think he has a decent shot at getting in. I know that I don't think they compile. So like if you have a double game week, like if he scored 4 goals, I don't know that they compile that. Um, we'll see. I mean, I think he deserves in. Um, because he had the only goal in Saturday's 1-0, or Saturday or Sunday's 1-0 win, and that moved them even further into second place, uh, solidified their position there. So I feel like he deserves in the team of the week. Um, Moving on, Philip Kostic for Eintracht Frankfurt. They completely demolished Augsburg on Friday, 5-0, and he had 2 goals and 2 assists in a rating, and obviously the clean sheets that helps out. I feel like he's a shoe in there, and I am going to go ahead and mention this now before I get to the defenders. Initially, I had Timmy Chandler in as well. He had 2 goals, so between him and Kostic, they had 4 of the 5 goals. Um, there's I don't have Timmy Chandler in. I went a little bit of a different direction, but I can see them putting 2 guys from Eintracht Frankfurt in on Friday. There's a possibility I still might change one of them and go with Timmy Chandler anyway, but we'll get to my defenders here in a second. Robin Quaison for FSV Mines. He had a hat trick in I believe it was 3-1 or 3-2. But he had a 9.1 rating. Hat trick, pretty much guaranteed, especially if you're a gold card, pretty much guarantees you getting in team of the week. So I don't feel like there'll be any problem with him getting in. Again, we're struggling for ratings this week, so I feel like he's much in. Next is Gaston Ramirez from Sampdoria. He had 2 goals. Let's see, Gaston. Yeah, he had 2 goals in I believe it was 3-2 win. And let me pull it up because I can't remember. Yeah, excuse me, 3-1 win on Saturday. They beat Torino. So Torino seems to be the smashing block for the Serie A right now. So I feel like he is going to get in. No questions asked there, probably. Next, and I mean, again, this is not a very good team of the week. So if they have another promo coming out this week, or they want to juice up the team of the week, Messi has to be in. He had three assists, uh, a hat trick of assists, three assists in a 3-2 win over Real Betis, and he had a 9.5 rating. Um, there's a possibility that Lenglet would have been in the team of the week, but he got a red card. He got two cards. I think he got two cards, which obviously equals red card, so he got sent off. I have never seen a team of the week anybody get in the team of the week that had a red card, even though there's actually a guy that a silver, and I want to say he was either Dutch or Belgian. Um, I can't remember the league off the top of my head, but he had a hat trick, but he got sent off. So I did not put him in the team of the week because I feel like being the team of the week, you have to have not only a great performance, but kind of have to you got to stay on the pitch. Um, can't get sent off. So um, Messi's in, I think, with his hat trick of assists. Moving on, this is kind of where I took Timmy Chandler out. I put Kaner Erkin in from Besiktas. He had an assist and a clean sheet, 8.5 rating, 3-0 win in Super League. I'm not really sure. There's a couple other ways. Jeremy Matthew from Sporting CP, he had a goal, a 2-1 win for Sporting CP. There's a possibility that he could get in. I'm looking to see. There's a couple other goals. At first I had Thilo Kehrer from PSG, but I forgot that he had the Stars card that came out, so I don't think he'll get in the team of the week. He did have a goal in their 2-1 win on, I believe it was Wednesday, so I left him out. So moving on, we have Stefan de Vrij, or however you say his name. He had a goal in Inter's 4-2 comeback victory Milan. Somehow Milan just folded up in the second half on, was that Sunday? I think that was Sunday. That was the last games. They completely folded. They were up 2-0 at halftime and basically just folded. Literally gave up basically three goals in 20, 20 game minutes, basically. DeFrige basically had the game winner. He had the third goal. Kaku put it away in the 90th, but I feel like DeFrige, with the lack of defenders this week, I feel like he's got to be in. Basically, the quote unquote game winning goal. So I feel like he'll be in. And then Alexander Jiku, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He had a goal, an 8 rating, and a clean sheet in this weekend. I'm going to tell you exactly who. Spot it here. Strasbourg. Strasbourg defeated. Strasbourg. Loose. Strasbourg won 1-0, and he had the only goal in the game. So I feel like that pretty much will guarantee him. Oh, actually, I forgot they double game week. Strasbourg won 3-1 over Stadia de Reims. That might, yeah, he had the opening goal in the second half, which was basically the game-winning goal. So I feel like he'll get in. Kenny Lala had a goal in the 90th minute, but I don't think that was it was game was already over by that point because they had a second goal at that point. So feel like he should get in again with the lack of defenders this week. He deserves in there. Um, and then goalkeepers. I had a little bit of a tough time with this. Goalkeepers were actually a little bit difficult this week because there weren't really a whole lot of really great performances. Um, so I kind of, as I was putting it together, I was like, so I'm basically going. My starting goalkeeper is Matea Perrin. Um, I feel like his performance for Genoa's 1-0 win. I'm going back to Serie A because I kind of explain this one a little. So Genoa actually beat Cagliari. Cagliari are mid-table, they're ninth, and Genoa's sitting in the relegation at 18th. So for me, that was a huge win, and for him to pitch a shutout in that game, that was critical. He actually just got transferred, um, and I don't remember off the top of my head where he was at before. I think he was still in Serie A, but he actually transferred to Genoa. So he pitched a 1-0 shutout on Sunday. He had, back to my notes here, he had 4 saves, 2 in the box. He had a punch. He had 2 high claims. His rating was a little bit low, 7.8, but he had the clean sheet, and that was a huge W for Genoa because that pulls them within 3 points of Lecce for 17th. And then literally, basically, they're 4 points from safety between Sampdoria, Lecce, and Genoa right there. And they put some distance between them and Brescia. Yeah, even though it is one game, it's still that's huge in the relegation battle. So I feel like he'll be in as the starting goal that performance. We'll go to reserves, which you can see here. This one I kind of wrestled with this one as well. I was torn between Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison had a goal when win over Crystal Palace on Saturday. Um, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he had an assist and he had a goal. So that it could go either way there. I went with I think the higher rating that would be in this team of weeks would be 82, and I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin might be like an 81. So I mean, either one of them could get in. I just felt like Richarlison was a little bit more appealing with a lackluster uh, informs this week, so I went with him. Um, Gianluca Lapadula had 2 goals as Lecce defeated Napoli. That was a huge upset as well. Um, Lecce are set. Obviously, I just mentioned they were 17th, and Napoli. Well, I wouldn't say huge upset. Just from basically, Napoli is one of the better known teams in Serie A. They're struggling quite a bit this year. And it was kind of funny. So Sampdoria, who's 16th, Lecce 17th, Genoa's 18th. All three of those teams won, and they beat teams above them in the table. So I feel like with 2 goals in that game, and I think he had the game winner as well. Um, Double check that real quick. No, he had the 2 goals. He had the first goal, and then he had the second goal that basically put him ahead. And then Marco Mancoso, he made it 3-1, and Callejon for a late goal, Napoli. But at that time it's too late. But Lapadula for his 2 goals, he should get in. Jorge Molina for Getafe. He had 2 goals Saturday, I believe it was. And yes, Saturday against Valencia. He basically had 2 goals that put the game out of reach for him. So I feel like he's 100% in. Um, so again, going with a little bit of ratings there as well. Moving on, we have, and this guy's name is Kevin Theophile Catherine. Yes, is how you say it. He plays for Dynamo Zagreb. Uh, they played Sunday and they won 2-0. He had the basically the game-winning goal, the original goal, clean sheet. Uh, don't know what his rating was, but for having that clean sheet, he played a pretty decent game. He should be in again with the lack of defenders. again, Jeremy Matthew, um, and Joe Bryan are the only two other ones I think that might get in. But we'll have to see on that. Moving along, I actually have two out of the next three are actually goalkeepers. I will obviously explain why. The next one is Alexander Schwolo from crap. I keep these guys. It's like I remember it, and then I get on here and I have a brain freeze. Freeburg. Freeburg won on Saturday, I believe it was 1-0, 1899 Hoffenheim. Um, so that was a decent game for them, and that pulled them within a point, 3 points basically of sixth, which is good for them. He had a huge game. He had 6 saves, 5 in the box. He had 1 punch. He had an 8.6 rating, clean sheet, obviously, and that dub. So I feel like he got left out of about weeks ago. He had a similar type game, so I feel like he could get in this week, but there's a possibility they go. There's only really kind of one other keeper that I see getting in. I'll explain that in a second. We're gonna go to actually we are going um, German two to find the here. I think it's VfB Stuttgart. If I remember. Yes, look at that. I actually pull that one out of my hat. Stuttgart won 3-0 on Saturday. And Daniel Diadavi, yeah, looking up here, see what played like right mid, kind of right wing. He had 2 goals and a 9.0 rating. Um, he was man of the match. Clean sheet. So I feel like I know they don't look a lot of the lower rated sides, but I think this guy his base is like a 79 or an 80, so I think he'll get in. Not that it juices up the team anymore, but I mean, having anything 82 and higher in the team of the week is always a good thing. So we'll see if he gets in, not. And then the other goalkeeper that I threw in this week is Marius Muller for FC Luzern. He plays in the Swiss Super League. This dude had an incredible game. I've never seen a goalkeeper with a 10 since I started doing team of the week predictions. I've never seen a goalkeeper with a 10 rating, and he had a 10 rating, a clean sheet, and a dub. He had 13 saves, 7 in the box. He had 3 punches, 13 saves. That is a 13 saves. You're getting peppered in the game pretty much. I mean, most average saves are anywhere from probably 6 to 8, 5 to 8, something like that. This guy had 13. I know it doesn't do much for the rating, but feel like he deserves a team of the week for that performance. So that's why I had 3 goalkeepers in this week. The other goalkeeper that I struggle. So originally my thought was between my starter was Matea Perrin and Geronimo Rulli. Rulli played twice this week. He had a total 12 saves, 7 in the box, 1 high claim, and his rating was basically 8.1. He had a clean sheet in one game, and then they drew 1-1 in the other game. So there's a possibility he gets in, but I just felt like from the where they're at in the table that Perrin's performance was a lot better than really Montpellier or a little bit higher up in Ligue 1 and are kind of bottom table. Like I said, Sampdoria, Lecce, um, and Genoa all won this weekend, and they beat teams above them. So that's why I went with Perrin, and then Schwolo and Moeller for obviously. So that's part of my reserves, and then we'll go over here. I'm going to completely butcher this guy's name. It's Cave or Zaya, I guess is how you say it. he had a hat trick in Belgium Pro League, and they had a clean sheet as well. So I think they won like 4-0 or 5-0, something like that. But he had three of the goals, and he basically put the game away. So I feel like he'll get in. Again, he's not very high rated, but you know, like I said, a hat trick, clean sheet, in league games, those are huge. Next, I have Musa Barrow from Bologna. They won 3-2. He had 2 goals and 1 assist, 9.1 rating. Um, so he's another silver as well. So 77 rated. You know, but he had a performance for Bologna, and let's see where curious because I should that Bologna or well I think Syria. Yeah, Bologna are seventh. So yeah, the eighth, ninth, 10th, and 11th place teams all lost this week. Roma lost and Juventus lost, and actually enters in first now on goal different. Me 8-1 it looks like. They have basically a 7 goal lead there. Lazio, they're lurking 1 point back, and they have Lazio and Atalanta both have more goals scored than Juventus and Inter, but Lazio's 1 point back, and then there's literally a 11-point gap from third. But Bologna, that was huge for Musa Barrow, so I feel like he will get in the team of the week. Um, sorry, I keep saying get in the team of the week, but I don't know how else to. Next, we're going to go to Liga Nos for Joao Teixeira. Um, he wasn't my original selection from this game, um, but the guy that I was going to put in, he does not have a card in FIFA. So Joao Teixeira is from Villa de Guimarães. I don't know if I said that right. If I didn't, sorry. Um, so there were literally three guys on this team that had over 9 ratings in the game, and I tried to find Bruno Duarte da Silva, but I could not find him in the game. He would have been my choice because he had 1 goal, 3 assists. But his rating was actually the lowest out of all three. Marcus Edwards had 2 goals, no assists. And then Joao Teixeira, he had 2 goals, 1 assist, so he had a 9.6 rating. They won 7-0 over FC Famalicão or Famalicão. So I feel like he will get in for that performance. It could be one of those other guys that gets. If it is, then hey, we can't have it uh, our way all the time. Next, go back to the Swiss Super League for FC Basel and Mr. Fabian Frey. He had a hat trick, 9.7 rating, and a clean sheet. Uh, a win, and I need to remember. I should know who it was. Super League, and over FC Zurich 4-0, and he had 3 of those goals. So again, hat trick, clean sheet, over 9 rating, almost automatic. So that's going to be interesting to see if he gets in the team of the week because Marius Muller is also from the Swiss Super League. So I've never seen two Swiss guys get in. Um, and ironically, I'm actually looking at the team of the week, and he didn't even make Fabian Frey didn't even make the team um, for this week in the Super League. So I was going to look at see what his rating was. His rating was 9.75. Okay, this makes no sense to me. They put his teammate Valentin Stocker, who had 1 goal, in over him, and he had three goals. I think that could be an error there, but I think Fabian Frey he could get in. I mean, he could be replaced with somebody else easily, um, just because he's a silver card. So, but there weren't a whole lot of options outside of the goals that I already have in. Um, there's a cut. There might be a couple, so kind of go through here at the end. The last one that I have in is Luis Montes, another Liga MX player, and I'm gonna go. That was torn. I had uh, Andres Imbarguin in for Club America, but he he was a silver as well, and I felt the performance for Leon from Luis Montes was a little better. They beat Monterrey 3-1. Montez basically put the game away. He had the game tying goal and basically put it away in the 75th. He had an 8.9, almost a 9 rating, where Embarguin, uh, Club America, no, it wasn't Club America, was it? Using myself now. I know it was, yeah, it wasn't that one. Kenyak. I'm utterly confused why I had, I know this guy scored two. Huh. Oh, well, that could be, that would be why Andres Embarguin, that's actually following. That's interesting. That's where I got it from. I knew I'd seen it because it was Sunday, but apparently that's kind of weird. Their game weeks must run from Monday to Monday. That's interesting. So yeah, I left Andres Embarguin out, and I put in Luis Montes for Club Leon. Like I said, for his performance. So not a great team of the week. Um, some of the other cards that could potentially get in. We got Loic Remy had a goal on Tuesday. Um, Odyssean Edouard had 2 goals in Scottish Premiership. They had a clean sheet, so there's a possibility. I think they won 4-0. Celtic won 4-0. Possibility he could get in. He's a silver. Um, again, Dominic Calvert-Lewin could get in over Charlison. Um, I'm trying to look. Isco could possibly get in. He had a goal for Real Madrid. Um, it was an alright game for him. He had the highest rating out of the team, so that's why I had him. What do we have here? Marius Bulter, I believe is how you say it, for FC Union Berlin. He had 2 goals. He had both goals in a shutout on Saturday. Clean sheet, 9.1 rating, so there's a possibility he gets in. Renato Sanchez, he had a goal, and they had a clean sheet, and he had an 8.2 rating, so there's a possibility he could get. I originally had him in, and then I had to, I literally had like 25 guys in my team of the week prediction, so I had to cut a couple out, and he was one of them. He might juice the team up a little bit more, so I could see him getting in. Um, Defensively, I've mentioned it. Joe Bryan and Jeremy Matthew were probably the two that I could see getting in. Timmy Chandler could get in. It was just hard for me to go with guys from the same team. I've not seen it too often, although they both originally when I was watching the game, I was like, well, Timmy Chandler's going to, and then Philip Kostic basically just went nuts in the second half. So I think he pretty much stole the inform from Timmy Chandler, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them both in. And then goalkeepers. Aitor had a pretty good game in La Liga. He had a clean sheet. They won. Um, like I said, Schwolo, Perrin, Rulli was really so basically Aitor or Rulli are the only two that I don't have in that could possibly get in, and they're golds. Um, I've seen some predictions with people putting Kaylor Navas in. I don't get it because he played horribly yesterday, and then he I think they beat FC Nantes 2-1 on Wednesday, so and he still didn't have a good rating. In my opinion, that wasn't, I know the team of the week is weak, but that's not deserving of an inform in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of other guys that had, some 2 goal performances and stuff. Most of them were silvers. So I left them out. Um, so yeah, we will see what happens there. Let me see how are we on? Oh, we're out of time. Okay, I'm not gonna take up any more time. Be sure to look for those headliner upgrades: Neymar, Thiago Silva, Rafael Varane. Those are all getting upgraded, and there's a couple of teams that have 2 or 3 wins in a row, um, that could be getting upgrades soon. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If there's something you want to see, let me know. Let me hear about it. Let me know what you think of the team of the week. If you have any differences, let me hear them. I'm always open to see what other people think about team of the week, especially when it's not that good this week. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great week, and we will see you later this week for some more videos. Later.